I'm delighted to introduce our next speaker, Information Security Team Leader at Kuwait Oil Company. And it is, of course, Dr. Reem AL Shammari. Now, she's going to be presenting this afternoon on information security culture, changing the mindset. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Reem AL Shammari.
Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, all. I would like first to thank you for attending this meeting, this presentation. My name is Dr. Reem Shammari, Team Leader Information Security. Here? Okay. Is it? Okay. Within Corporate Information Technology, in Kuwait Oil Company. I believe most of you have been hearing from the morning very scary news about cyber attacks and within our Middle East, our neighbors, Saudi being attacked just recently, 2 months ago. So I thought at 1 o'clock we should stop scaring people and let's talk from a different perspective. So how about talking on the information security, cybersecurity culture, with looking at a very important aspect, which is changing the mindset. Okay. ICS. Some people, when I start inviting them to KIACS, I said, there's a KIACS on cybersecurity for ICS. What is industrial control systems? What is it? I said, your daily lives is controlled by ICS, without it being labeled by ICS. But when you came out from your home today and you switch off your lights is electricity, and it's been provided by an electrical power station, which is an ICS, Industrial Control Systems. Just coming to this conference, you are driving your car and you passed by several traffic signs. These traffic signs are controlled by the Industrial Control Systems. And again, even the chemical medication are being produced within factories, and then again, industrial control systems. Our lives as all being functioned and being provided, facilitated through services produced through these industrial control systems. So they are very crucial, very important. And this conference, where it mainly targets the oil industry and oil and gas, we have ICS in our companies. In KOC, we have ESCADAs, we have PLCs, also in refineries, Kuwait. All of them have these industrial control systems with a very major impact that will affect the income of the country. Again, Mr. Mohammed Hussein said that information technology is coming to the ICS whether we want it or not, so we should just get prepared for that. And this is true, because in KIACS we have been living with the Kuwait Intelligent Digital Oil Fields from 2009. We started with 3 pilots, and now we have 6 digital oil fields expanding through all the assets. And yes, it's great to have technology with ICS. It increases the production, it maximizes the ability and capability to get your objective and strategic productions. But however, we need to be very smart in doing so. So why digitalize is getting to our environment? Because it's all about getting the right information at the right time and making your achievements of strategic objectives, where it was in exploration, production, refineries, distribution, or even the supplier channels. Cyber attacks, I will not go through them very detailed, but very quickly. This timeline just shows you that the time gap is being reduced. Instead of having like 2-3 years gaps, it's becoming monthly or just months gaps. And with going through the companies or countries, you can see that's being targeted very much closely to our Aramco, our friends in also Qatar. And some of the latest studies shown that the Middle East is being targeted within the coming years from cyber attacks on the oil industry. So again, as Ms. Wafa Zaabi said, when she said that in cybersecurity, it's not just about losing information, it's about affecting the production, as Kuwait income is relying on this petrol, where it affects 95% of the income is relying on petrol. So if we get jeopardized, then the national income is being jeopardized as well. That's why cybersecurity is very crucial in the ICS. So, where does the change mindset comes? It's okay and it's good to build our infrastructure and do that investment from the technologies, solutions, and we have our vendors here all over to help us in that. However, we should not ignore the very important factor here, our weakest link, humans. Our employees, our vendors, our suppliers are our weakest link. No matter how much investment we put in our solutions for security, if we do not invest in that weakest link and make them our strongest link as our first line of defense, then we are losing big time. In KOC, when we send awareness messages and we send news flashes, we say, please do not become our weakest link. Please do not become the weakest link of KOC information security system. Help us to get more secure. Whether we like it or not, people are our first line of defense. So we need to invest in them by making them more aware and building that cyber-aware staff and community. And of course, the attacks is being targeted as adversaries and hackers don't want to waste lots of money in just trying to penetrate systems. It's easier for them just to penetrate a person and a human being through social engineering or sending phishing email. Again, Mr. Mohammed Hussein, when he said phishing, I come from an island, and phishing means something else. Where now, with cybersecurity, it means something major. Yes, phishing is being used as the major key in these attacks to these humans. And if you can see from the numbers here, it shows you that the major numbers here, is from the email links and email attachments. In a company, as KOC, we can control websites, malicious websites. We can filter them out. We can block USBs that are not required. However, emails is very important and official communication method that we cannot block. So what to do? Although we can utilize, again, vendor solutions to filterize and scan these emails, we need to work on our people not to be phishing victims. Again, calculations and number statistics shows that phishing emails are being sent, and they are increasingly. They are targeting our people to get that open door very easily, instead of just wasting so much money in breaking out an ICS system or even a solution that costs them more money and time to break. So, cyber kill chain. Maybe some of you guys have heard about it, and some of you didn't. But very much quickly, we'll go through the basic steps of cyber kill chain, and here where my presentation looks at. And the first step of cyber kill chain is reconnaissance. This is where the advisor, the attacker, starts collecting information. So it is our role here to focus on our weakest link, our people, our employees, our vendors. We need to make them aware that be careful of your personal information. Be very careful when you start putting your information on that social media. Do not share sensitive data. Like, for example, in my in my LinkedIn, I didn't even update my status as information security team leader because I think I'll be targeted much more. But in this security now, I'm all over now. But however, still I'll be more secure in that. And please do not throw these confidential papers. Probably get rid of them through a shredder, then throw them into the trash. We need to get that awareness to our people. Also, we need to tell them how effective using the encryption keys into your information. In this way of awareness, we can kill that very first stage of reconnaissance, where it will make it more difficult for that attacker to collect that specific and sensitive data from our people. The second step, which is weaponization. where the attacker starts building his tool based on the information he has collected. There's nothing much we can do from an organization perspective, from a human side, because although from again solutions, applications, vendors, we have tools, but we're again focusing only on the human factor. At this stage, we cannot do much, but in the delivery stage, where the attacker starts trying to inject his developed malware, his tool, attacker tool, through these people, whether it's through phishing emails or macros or whatever, then we need to educate our staffs that if you see any phishing emails, and we'll have to educate them what does a phishing mail means, what are the characteristics of that. Then for them, if they see anything related to this phishing email, they will quickly report it to our security team, and they become a very cyber-aware community. And by doing so, we can kill that delivery link in that kill chain. The fourth stage, which is exploitation, what he can get, the attacker will get his tool into that environment, and he starts looking for vulnerabilities, exploits, and start getting to that open patches or unpatched systems. Here, again, we can kill that chain, and we can bring that link by educating our end user and telling them how important it is to have a constant patch management, whether it was for your systems or for even your mobiles and personal devices, because patching your devices will make it much harder for the exploiter or adversary to break into your system. Moving to the fifth stage, which is installations, where he starts installing his malware in order for him to start exploiting and attacking the system. We can again here teach our employees to be alert to the common indicators of compromise. When he double clicks on that Word document that he just received from an email, if it takes too long, then there's something wrong. There's something in the background being run, so be aware of that, come and report it to us. So this is where it comes to that cyber aware again, for our staff to come and alert us. This is where it comes for cyber aware and giving that community of awareness all around our staff. Then moving to the sixth one, which is the command and control. This is where, after being installed, he tries to communicate with his command control over the internet to take the actions in order to do the destruction. So again, at that precise step, there's nothing much to do from an employee part to stop that one. However, again, we can utilize the vendor solutions to check any communication going from the network out to the outside the internet for that fishy or unknown communication. The last one will take action and objectives. We can still have a last play where we can, again, break that chain by doing all of the above, by making them aware of using encryption, by making them aware of that you need to destruct your data if you don't need it, if you are no longer in need of it. You need to have unique password all over. The big agony of being a team leader of information security, when they see me say, you have long passwords. Why are you doing this? I said, it's for your own good. Shamoon attack was mainly built on weak passwords. So although you think we're making your lives a little bit difficult, but we're trying to save our country, and we're trying to protect your income and your kids' income. So bear with us and help us to secure our environment. Okay, so this is how we can kill that kill chain and move forward. So why do we need to build a cyber-aware program or organization? Because there's a gap between technology and the intrusion attempts. And to fill that gap only can be filled with the human beings. And this is where we need this cyber-aware task force being built within our company. When I asked Mr. Mohammed Toura a question, when it will be time for us to build our electronic army, it was on a nationwide question. But to be honest, we have been thinking it on a company-wide, K companies even wide. When is it time to build our own electronic army for preventing or securing and protecting our K companies' business? And this is where the cyber-aware workforce will come to the picture. With them, we can enhance our incident reporting. We can have more security volunteers and have that cyber-aware spirit within them. They have the burden of securing their income, their country, their borders. It's no longer a matter of throwing a missile just to and corrupt that in factory. It's just that simple. By throwing a very small malware can shut down a whole factory or even exploit a GC by itself. So it's that as critical as it is, and it's as easy as that. How can we do that in an effective way? Thank God, alhamdulillah, our executives are now more aware of cybersecurity and how crucial that. So this is easy step has been taken out of the burden. We're thinking so much, how can we really convince our people? But alhamdulillah, from today's panel, it shows that we have a very smart, intelligent leadership. They have realized how cybersecurity is critical. So it's about time to move and take actions. They have the vision and mission, and they have realized that cybersecurity is within the top risks within their goal objectives. So it's all a matter about injecting and aligning your cybersecurity strategic objectives into that vision and mission, and start from developing your awareness requirement for cybersecurity. So you start identifying your groups. Of course, all of us knows about fashionistas and all of these social networking people. We need to define these people. We have this everywhere. In Kuwait community, we have them everywhere, even within our K companies. So we need to identify these groups, social networker, mobile users, business users, as well as other normal employees. And having this categorized, we can target each of them for our awareness. It's okay to be a social networker, but please, we need to give you this awareness to be more careful on what information that you will post through the social network. Again, also for engineering relevance, for security awarenesses, we can link our business objectives along with the security requirement and tailor it to the business requirement as well. And with that, we will end up with an effective cybersecurity program by injecting the people themselves into that program. Okay, this is a hint. We have done it in KOC. So as Mr. Mohammed and also Mr. Ziad Labani said, we need networking, we need to share knowledge. This is one of the shared practices we have done in KOC. All of us know that traditional training is boring when we just inject and feed information to people and trainees by force, and then we give them pass or fail, and that's it. We need to be thinking out of the box when it comes to cybersecurity and our nation's security at risk. So what should we do? We can do it from different aspects. Some of the one that we have done it and practiced in KOC is branding security. What does branding security mean? It means going to the HR group and tell them, from security perspective, you as HR, you will be very much keen that your information for your employees, their salaries, their special personal information does not get leaked. So we can tailor your security on the requirements for your group. Then we go to the OT and tell them, in your gathering center, you need to secure your gathering center because you do not want to jeopardize and make an attacker raise the pressure at the gathering center and then cause an incident of explosion. So this is where branding security comes to each end user, where we tailor it according to his requirement by himself. Another way to do it, and it's very much fun, is gamification, where we start teaching them how they can be more cybersecurity aware, and we give them the tips of cybersecurity. In the same time, they are having fun. Through running gamification, through running, example to that is catch the flag, and also telling the story. Mr. Kloli here, when he presented his presentation, he said, I will start by telling a story. Telling a story is a very effective method and has been proven by so many studies that is a very effective method to get people involved in you, and they would like to see the events and the sequential of that story. So we have practiced that just recently in one of our IT KOC gathering. Chrissy? Okay, so this is pictures of the gamification we have run, and this is where KOC shares their knowledge with it. We have built a scenario of a work environment, and we have 3 teams where they did a cybersecurity game for them of catching the flag. So it's okay to lose a little bit of cost, where there's a mobiles or device prices for them if they win it. But at the end, although we have lost some money in getting them the prize, but we end up with 100 people coming out from that gathering with their cyber aware has been updated, and they will be much more keen to get all of this cyber security awareness and tips into his work environment the next day. So we can see here that we have imitated a work environment, and then we have told them to see if the insider is there, what information that can be used to get into the company's network. Of course, they were very much keen, and mashallah, our people as IT always smart. They were so much strong competitiveness, and they were able also to get that indications of compromise, and also we have injected storytelling into that activity as well. So it's all about our people. These people you see in the images or in the pictures are the one who our adversaries, our attackers will attack. So we should be very careful and very keen on investing on them because they are worth it and they are our first line of defense. So let's focus on them. Thank you so much.
Gentlemen, we have 4 minutes for some Q&A. Are there any questions? And if so, could we please have your name, your company, and your question? We've got a question here. If I can get one of the hands free to him, please. Your name, your company, and your question, please, sir. Time for one question only, Dr. Reem.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Arshad Khan. I'm from PricewaterhouseCoopers, Kuwait. First of all, I'd like to thank you and the entire team here for organizing this world-class event. And regarding information security, and since you also belong to one of the flagship companies here, you mostly talked about the external factors or external attacks involved in the space of cybersecurity. What I'd like to know from you is, what are your internal safeguards regarding attacks emanating from within the company? For example, any outsourced or employee-based leaks. What are the controls that you as a company or as the team lead try to implement within your organization? Thank you.
Thank you so much for your question. Actually, our gamification scenario was played on the scenario where it says, this is an office of an employee. Normal employee, he just left after 3 o'clock, he left home. So what are the information there that an insider, not an attacker from the internet, an insider will use this information to go and penetrate our systems. So our people just start looking, and I believe some of you guys are still doing it, having the password under that keyboard, or very closely on a small yellow tip, and just stick it next to the monitor for easy one, or KOC 123. This is the easy one. So much of them is being used as internal ones. From KIACS perspective, we have implemented IT policies and standards for ISO 27000. ISMS has been implemented where it covers all the clean disk policies, all the awarenesses and investment that should be done on our people. And also for the OT part, we have just finalized an assessment on the OT part from KIACS perspective, where we have evaluated some of our 14 gathering centers as a sample, and we have identified some indicator of compromise. And then we have developed also again an ICS policies that is being endorsed by our upper management. So yes, the threat is not only from outside, it is from inside. Adding to that, the Ukrainian hit, when it wasn't hit by an external one. It was hit actually from the support engineer who are using a VPN connectivity to go and support that machine. So from that VPN connectivity, a phishing email was used to gather that VPN password, and then he used it, and he just got authorized through a very secure channel, which is VPN, and then bring that down that power station. So again, we need to be very keen on, again, investing on our people, make them cyber aware, and build that cyber aware task force within us. Thank you.